Nvidia postponing their 3-nanometer GPU launch to 2025. And in their official statement, they're blaming economic struggles and dwindling PC demand. Now,
this is me playing the world's tiniest violin,
right?
For Nvidia.
To Nvidia,
yeah,
who
no.
had to basically disclose 18 months after the fact to their investors that, it wasn't gamers who were buying all of our graphics cards. We actually just sold them straight to crypto miners. And so maybe that revenue wasn't sustainable like we claimed it was. And so, yeah, part of me sheds a tear. The other part of me says, well, yeah, obviously, we lived through 2 or 3 years of you guys owning everything on Earth and charging ridiculous prices for everything. And you're still trying to charge ridiculous prices for everything. And shockingly enough, not everyone has $1,500 spare dollars to spend on a graphics card right now.
Yeah, I've brought this up with other creators, other people in the tech community, friends who are just getting into gaming, all different aspects of it. And it's a common thing. Everyone hates the trend of GPU prices. Obviously, no one wants to pay more, but it's gotten ridiculous. I remember when I bought my first top tier GPU, it was the GTX 580, and I think it was $500 for the top tier. That was like the best GPU you could buy at the time.
Yeah, between 4 and 5. That sounds about right. Yeah.
At peak COVID chip shortage, it was a 3090 was retailing like over $2,000.
Don't talk to me about my 3090.
Look, I got a stupid 4090, so
right. Okay. So you understand?
Yeah, I'm in the. No, I get it. I need it for editing.
Yeah,
I need it.
I need it for editing. That was my. Yeah, I switched over to Sony cameras, but also I bought an Atomos Ninja 5 at the time, so we started recording in ProRes 422, and I needed that additional VRAM. And outside of buying an M5000 or M6000 or something like that, it's like there's only one other card with 24 gigs of VRAM, and the 8 that I have right now isn't covering it. And so at first I tried to buy a 6900 XT, and Premiere goes, ha! So I'm like, no, I need something with NVENC. I need to be able to encode, decode, X265 and everything else. So I spent $2,700 on a 3090. I
bought a 3080 Ti peak COVID. I think I spent almost $1,900 on it.
Yeah,
$1,800.
Yeah,
it's disgusting.
Yeah, it was about $1,700 for my 6900 XT, and when that ended up not working, I'm like, ugh.
No, it was disgusting. Yeah. Those were dark times.
Yes,
awful.
Yeah, don't check the prices on them now.
No, I've already seen it and come to grips with my terrible investment. We'll call it.
Yes,
but. Yeah, I mean, at the time, that there was really no other option. It was so miserable, and I mean, I know I'm lucky enough to be in a situation where I can afford to go out and buy one, but it for the people who had to, you have to enter. You can't go on eBay because the scalping is just ridiculous. You can't go to any stores to buy them. Your only avenue was to enter the Newegg Shuffle because. It's like, just get it from Best Buy. It's like the bots were just scraping them anytime they came out. So enter the Shuffle at Newegg and pay, 500% of MSRP. Good luck.
Right. Jay. Speaking of Jay, Jay at Learn Linux TV, he was also in need of a 3090, and I happened to win the EVGA shuffle at one point, like 9 months after I put in for it. And he ended up buying my allocation for a 3090 because it's like, well, I already got on eBay and whatever. So yeah. And Dan May says, how is the A5000? I love my A5000s. I have 2 of them. I've been working on doing some more vGPU content with them, but I've ran into a lot of the same problems that that we've experienced before with Nvidia when it comes to graphics splitting, and that's the licensure being very difficult to navigate. That is, sometimes it works and sometimes it just doesn't. Whereas if you're on Pascal or even Turing, there's methods to run vGPU in just about any environment now that work pretty consistently. But with Ampere, it's still very much kind of hit or miss, even on cards that were designed to run vGPU. But yeah, the 24 gig A5000s, I would like to be doing more with them. Right now, they're sitting in a server, not really doing anything actively, other than occasionally fulfilling my need for generating AI images. But
like, story of my life, just having hardware, and people ask, "What are you doing with it?" I'm like,
games and stuff.
Nothing really. Yeah. Hanging out. I get more fun out of like building and like messing with these things more so than like actually using it for its intended purpose, because that's boring.
Yeah.
So
no, I have always been a hardware junkie at heart, and I find it more fulfilling to build a system and then fine tune it and everything else than I do actually playing the game once a system has been fine tuned. It's always been me. It's about the chase, not about the destination.
Yep.
Yeah. And Zach says, "Did I hear A5000? You did." Zachary being the donator of one of said A5000s.
Oh, nice.
He's if you say A5000 3 times, he will materialize in your house. So
interesting. I'll have to stop just short of that.
Sometime. Give it a shot sometime.
You have to like go in the bathroom, turn the lights out, spin around, look in the mirror,
stand on one leg. Right? Yeah.
Nice.
There's a whole trick to it, but yeah, if you get it just right.
Perfect.
Okay, so yeah, whether or not this is economic downturn, whether or not this is dwindling PC demand, whether or not this is a technical problem, Nvidia was touting that they would have 3 nanometer GPUs on the market before the end of this year. Now they're pushing to probably at least Q2 or Q3 of 2025. What does that mean for GPU pricing? I don't know. Is this a ploy to keep Ada GPUs priced as high as they can for as long as they can before the next one comes out? Who knows?
And they said in the article, I mean, the big ones, it's got to be, demand. I went to Micro Center the other day, and GPUs just lining the aisles. They had extras on top of all the aisles.
Yeah.
When you spike up your production because of this artificial demand from crypto mining, and when that goes away, now you're left with supply and demand. It's
right. Now you're left holding
economics.
Right.
Exactly. And so when you see that, it's like, wait, you should probably let things cool down a bit. But then again, it could just be like the economy. You don't want to invest. They're not ready to invest that much money, with the overhead and all the bags they've been left carrying. So it's like, I don't know. Like, I can sit here and speculate, but at the end of the day, I feel like we've gotten to a point with GPUs that the bottom tier of the current gen is more than enough for like 99% of people who are gaming, especially at like 1080p. Like before, it was like, oh, you want to game at high FPS 1080p? You better buy yourself a 980, a 1080.
Right.
Now it's like a 3060, even a 3050.
Yeah.
1080p, you're playing AAA titles at 60 FPS.
Right. And it's really funny how the ball or how the bell curve has moved for what is acceptable. And and I will say, as someone who is in the media, I'm definitely part of this, because when a lot of the popular media starts touting like 60 FPS is I can tell when it's only 60. And to some extent I can. Like I'm not saying that there's not a difference between 60 FPS and 144. But if I'm playing Red Dead Redemption single player, it doesn't really matter to me. The frame rate's never been that critical to me, especially as someone who doesn't stare at line graphs of I dropped 2 frames here. Why did it do that? Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's the game that does that. But I always come back to, yes, if you are getting into esports, if you are trying to compete in Counter-Strike, or if you're trying to win a match in Fortnite or whatever your game of choice may be, yes, those split millisecond frames can, and has been proven pretty well, do make a difference. The faster you see something, the faster you can aim, the faster you can react, the faster you can pull the trigger, and the more accurate your shot will be. But does that matter for every single gaming situation? And the answer is just a flat out no.